Hello guys, how are you? How na day? I hope that you guys are following my videos. I hope that you are joining the conversation. You can get to drop your comments and make sure you like, subscribe to my channel and please. I need those likes. I need those subscriptions. And if you don't mind, share on your social media platform, WhatsApp, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. Please do share. I think we're having a really robust conversation here. Every time, I make a video, I try to give you information, real information, factual. I try to bring deeper perspective into some of these issues happening in the polity. Still on the Deborah Samuel situation, is still developing. So let's look at all of the intricacies surrounding the Deborah Samuel incidents and the possibility of her getting justice. Like I did tell you in my previous video, if you've not seen my previous video on Deborah Samuel, please go check it out. The link is in the description corner. Just go click on the link and you get to watch the video, all the facts and from start to finish. And I did also do a critique on Atiku Abubakar. You know that Atiku Abubakar also got trending when that incident occurred. So go check out the video. Again, please like, as you can already see on your screen, please like and subscribe. Very important. Please do subscribe. I really would appreciate all of those subscriptions. Please do subscribe to my channel and like the videos and share and drop your comments. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for subscribing. So Deborah Samuel, will she get justice? I'll try to look at all of the issues surrounding the possibility of Deborah Samuel getting justice. You know the issues, you know the story already. I want to believe that everybody in this country already know what happened with Deborah Samuel. And in case you do not know, in case you're wondering what is Deborah Samuel we're talking about, go to the description, go and click on the link there. I put a link on the previous video I did on Deborah, so you can get yourself abreast with the whole situation. So a quick retrospect. Now you already know Deborah Samuel, a 200 level home economics students of the Shehu Shagari College of Education, Sokoto, got lynched, killed on the allegation of blasphemy by fellow students. Yeah, of course, we now know that some other persons came from outside the school to join in that unlawful act. But basically, it was students who instigated, supposedly our own classmates, Muslims who instigated that unlawful act, was lynched on the allegation of blasphemy. And we hear that 2 persons have been arrested by the authorities. We are hoping that more arrests will be made. Will Deborah Samuel get justice? First, in kickstarting, I want to look at the reaction of the cross-section of the Sokoto populace. Of course, you know that a protest broke out after the arrest of some of the suspects, which has really amazed and baffled many Nigerians. You want to wonder why. Now, the funny thing is that these people were not protesting against the killing. These people were not protesting the inhuman and dastardly act of this mob. They were actually protesting against the arrest of the suspects. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, and you want to ask yourself, are we in the same country? How can the people protest the arrest of suspects, of that kind of dastardly act? And you want to ask yourself, are we in the same country? This is one of the issue we have to deal with, being a Nigerian. It's unfortunate that I don't want to believe that popular opinion right there in Sokoto is supporting this unlawful act. I don't want to believe. I don't want to believe that this is the case. I don't want to believe it. It's so unfair. It's so inhuman for people to be protesting against the arrest. In a sane society, you would expect that people will come out, the populace will come out protesting for justice to be done to the victim, and now the reverse is the case. it's such a trajectory. It's such an unfortunate situation. So you get to see the videos, as you can already see on your screen. That is the Sokoto. You can see, people coming out to protest the arrest. You can see youths, and you can see people. I don't know. These people actually think that they do their faith, their religion, a service. When they do, they actually feel that they are defending, their faith when they do all of this. It's unfortunate to see this in Nigeria in the 21st century. It's so unfortunate, and this even snowballed into some level of violence, and you can see there in another footage that is looking like some building of kitchen and bathroom accessories. Obviously, that's a shop that was attacked.
Inda wasu daga cikin ma suke mai da harsashin da aka
I think it probably could have been more than this. We must give kudos to the security agencies who also were on grounds to curtail the situation. I know that some mischief makers also try to take advantage of this situation to further an agenda, probably put the whole country into chaos, maybe because you started seeing videos circulating, videos of previous events, circulating, and people trying to say that the protest was more than what it actually was in Sokoto. And many of those videos were not real. A number of those videos were not real, but that is not to dismiss the fact that there was some level of destruction happening. We hear that shops were attacked, bad, terrible. And you know that when it now gets to a situation where shops are being attacked and people's businesses are being, targeted, that usually is non-indigens. People are considered non-indigens are usually the targets, and it's so unfortunate that even after the dastardly act of killing somebody, taking laws into your hands, murdering, you still went ahead to touch other persons, touch people's businesses, disrupt public peace, and it's unfortunate that happened like that. It's so shameful. I want to believe that this is not the popular opinion out there. With all due respect to our Muslim, the Muslim faithfuls and Muslim friends, I know that many Muslims, even in Sokoto, have come out to speak against this. Even prominent personalities, we'll get to all of that. Prominent personalities have come out, even of northern extraction, have come out to speak against this. They have been courageous, and they have not allowed themselves to be cowed into submission. They've been courageous, and we must commend that is how it should be. You can't take a life, and nobody in his right senses, nobody who is reasonable, nobody who is sane will come out to justify that act. The killing of Deborah. It is only human and proper and fair to stand up and speak against this, at least to avoid a future occurrence. I know that more will have to be done beyond just speaking up to curb this in this country. More will have to be done. We'll get into all of that. And then you also get to hear that about 34 or 36 lawyers or thereabout have been assembled to defend the suspect. What a swift reaction, you would say. Well, of course, the suspects have a right to be defended. They do have a right, as far as I'm concerned, in the eyes of the law, they are still innocent, until proven guilty. So that's why they call suspects. So there's nothing wrong with lawyers, but you want to say that was rather swift, and 34 lawyers. Oof. Then you want to ask yourself who is organizing for Deborah, and the family who needs to get justice. Yeah, so as you can see, that's Leadership newspaper. Deborah, 34 lawyers defend suspected killers in court. Wow. Okay. And they're still talking about reactions, and you see some of the posts and messages you're seeing on social media, people actually coming out to defend these. Oh, people have to learn to respect other people's religion and all of that. Islam is what it is. And you see, personally, I am quite disappointed to see all of that. And I think already that makes you a suspect. If you have to come out to speak in support of this, then I don't think you're guiltless. I don't think you're guiltless. Nobody should come out to speak in support of this. It just doesn't make sense, for a society. And because there are many issues to this. First is that if you accuse of blasphemy, who determines what's blasphemy? And moreover, what do you call blasphemy? We have a number of religions in Nigeria, and you want to say, if we all begin to draw red lines and where you should not cross and where you should cross, and how's that going to go? How are we going to live like that? So who determines what is blasphemy and what is not blasphemy? And moreover, what is this blasphemy? Who is it constitutional? Nigerian constitution recognize any, offense of blasphemy and all of that. So we'll get into all of that. So people coming out openly to support this, on Twitter, Facebook, social media generally, people are coming out to support this openly. I don't think this is good, and I think the security agencies and the authorities should come into this. The TVC morning show, Your View, they did call the Commissioner of Police Sokoto, and this is what they had to say about all of this. What I even call incitement. It's more like incitement. Is enough for that to happen, then it's another thing for people to now come up and begin to justify this. This is wrong. It should not be supported. And the Commissioner of Police Sokoto did say in that phone conversation, you'll get to see the video now, that the police will go after such people. And I'm asking myself, how many persons have been arrested so far? Some of these posts are public. They're all everywhere on social media.
Immediately this incident happened, the police and other security agents were there, and all efforts to salvage this situation proved very abortive, and this girl was unfortunately lynched and set at risk. Some of the students, 2 of them were arrested immediately, and effort is ongoing to arrest others through videotape.
People on social media who have tweeted in support, people from high places, even the current contestants, one of the aspirants, President Atiku recently tweeted about it, condemning it. Unfortunately, quite a number of people replied him condemning his condemnation. In fact, they were supporting the action. That aside from arresting the mob, there are people also, regular Nigerians, who are tweeting in support of this act. What are you doing?
Yes, definitely. Whoever that comes up in such a way that we identify him to be supporting this heinous crime, automatically we will see him as one of those who are promoting it. And if it's satisfied, whoever that is satisfied will also be prosecuted. Because it's not only to participate that matters, but if you are in support of what happened, then you are sponsoring it. Then you are committing an offense.
Also, if you listen to the commissioner, that 2 persons who led the mob or whatever have been arrested and all of that. But see, for me, it's not just about arresting, those 2. We want to be able to see that those who actually masterminded that, criminal act be arrested and sent to the court of law. Those who masterminded this crime must be apprehended and prosecuted. It's not enough to just, pick up some, elements who probably were even just in the crime incidents and, join the cheering and all of that. It's more than that. Those who actually masterminded, we've heard that some persons were brought into the school. I think Nigerians should follow this investigation. The right thing must be done so that those who actually masterminded this will be brought to book. When you understand the Nigerian situation and where we're coming from as a people and as a nation, you almost want to say, oh, nothing is going to come out of this, but we can't lose hope. We must continue to seek justice. We must continue to use everything we have within our disposal, and within the ambits of the law, within the provisions of the law, to ensure that what is right is done. This is a democracy. Rights must be respected. As citizens, we must always stand for what is right. We must always ensure that, justice is done. It's Deborah today. You don't know who's going to be tossed tomorrow. So that is why you cannot just sit back and say, oh, it's not a new thing. It's been happening. The government is this, the government is that. Yeah, we know where we are as a nation, but the question is, what can we do? We can't just sit back, because in a situation like this, nobody's actually safe. Nobody's safe. That is why we cannot afford to let this just slide. We must continue to sue for what is right. We must continue to insist on what is right. We must put pressure on the authorities to do what is right. And that's what we do. That's why I do this. That's why you are doing what you do, writing a post, and, sometimes you even come out to protest. Yeah, we can't afford to just sit back and expect that, things will go right one day, someday. No. We must continue to insist and put pressure on the system, on the authorities to do what is right. And again, I want to say my sincere condolences to the parents and loved ones of Deborah. Like I did say the other time, it is bad enough to lose, a loved one, but to have to lose a loved one like that is horrible. It's traumatic. It's terrible. So we pray that God will give you the fortitude to bear this loss. She's since been buried. Deborah has since been buried in her hometown, somewhere in Niger State. You can see those footage. You got to see the Nation newspapers. She's been buried. Those have been laid to rest. Okay. May her soul rest in peace. May her soul rest in peace. And then we also hear that the government have not reached out to Deborah's family. In fact, according to credible reports, that as of the time that Deborah was buried, that the government had not reached out. That is horrible. As much as I have commended the Sokoto authorities, the governor Tamboa, the Sultan. I think this is ridiculous. That the family has not been reached. This is terrible. This is terrible. This is terrible. It must be said. This is very terrible. I think the Sokoto government should reach out to that family. In fact, more embarrassing and more outrageous is that, according to reports, the father had to go fetch the body himself. Come on, he had to go fetch the body himself for burial. No. The Sokoto authorities did not do well here. The government did not do well here. I think they can still make amends by reaching out quickly to the family. By now, we should be seeing videos of the governor and prominent, leaders in that environment going to meet the family, going to reach out and send their condolences, and come on, the family needs that. So this is very, very outrageous. This is very embarrassing. It is unacceptable that the family has not been reached. This is courtesy Arise TV. I'll show you reports coming in that the family has not been reached. I think this is very, very unacceptable. This is not good at all.
I mean, their daughter was murdered in the school premises. So clearly this is showing that children, adults, students basically are not even safe in the schools. And also they're saying the government has not contacted them, and her father had to go fetch a body himself.
Now let's go to a reaction of prominent personalities in the country to this incident. The president had come out to condemn this. I think it was well over 24 hours before that statement came out, but still okay. The president came out to condemn this. There was a statement from the presidency, and he's assured that the authorities will do the needful, and there will be an unbiased investigation into this incident. And the vice president also spoke. We have a video called See Chinese Television, also spoke, and I'll just play the video right away so that you can get to see what the vice president said.
But I must say that it's a deeply distressing thing, very disturbing that such an atrocious killing of a young lady by a mob who took the law into their own hands. But I'm very happy about the very swift reaction of the Sokoto state government and also the Sultan of Sokoto. I think their swift reaction to the situation clearly demonstrated the outrage of millions of Nigerians, and also demonstrated the desire of everyone to ensure that the perpetrators are quickly apprehended and prosecuted.
Yeah, of course they took the laws into their hands, and yes, that is why we say justice must prevail. That's the Vice President Yomi Osinbajo speaking there. And yes, like he did say, the Sokoto authorities, starting from the government, the governor, Aminu Tambawa, I had commended him in the last video. I think we must commend him. I am very impressed with Aminu Tambawa, how he came out swiftly to try to calm the situation, reaching out to leaders across the Christian and Muslim community. I think that is very commendable. That is how to do it. And then they also called that curfew when it became absolutely necessary.
Everything is being done by the security agencies to fish out those that are behind this dastardly act, and they will be accordingly prosecuted as provided by law. Let me further appeal to our citizens that we must not develop or imbibe the habit of taking law onto our hands.
Fellow citizens of Sokoto State, following the sad incident that happened at the Shehu Shagari College of Education Sokoto on Thursday, and sequel to the developments within the metropolis this morning till this afternoon, by the powers of Section 176(2) of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and Section 1 and 4 of the Public Order Act, and also Section 15 of Sokoto State Peace Preservation Law, I hereby declare curfew within the metropolis of Sokoto Town.
And also the Sultan of Sokoto, I think, is done quite well. We must commend him. And I think that, with the influence of these two leaders put together, we can get some justice if they really want justice to be done. I think they should not just stop by coming out, at this initial stage. This efforts must be sustained, and I want to trust their sincerity to do it. We'll get back into this. So, still looking at responses from prominent personalities, we see that Amina Mohammed, the Deputy UN Secretary General, also spoke, and she condemned the act, and she's demanding justice for Deborah. Amina Mohammed is from the north, and and that's why this is very crucial, because she's from the north, and a very prominent personality at that. And it's good that she's speaking up. It's very commendable. More people, more prominent personalities speaking up. Khan had also reacted. That's the Daily Post. This is May 15th. Khan had also reacted at the very early stage of this incident. It says, Deborah Samuel, enough is enough. Khan directs all churches to hold nationwide protest. I think this was later put on hold as a result of, appeal from the government quarters. This was later put on hold, but that's Khan responding. Now you also see the Khan youths condemn killing or forget votes. Khan youths tell politicians. Okay. But for me, I think it's particularly interesting that this is happening very close to a major election, which also includes the presidential election. It works well for many obvious reasons, especially now that we're looking at what many of the presidential and other politicians seeking for top offices, we're looking at what they are saying, because to a large extent, this will go a long way in telling your position and the strength of your character as a leader. So it is not out of place to want to, connect this to the elections coming up. It is not out of place at all. This is one of the ways you can hold leaders to account. Obviously, vote matters a lot to politicians. This is a good time to really test, what's their principles and, their values. And I put Atiku to some critique in the last video I did. You can check the description section. You will see that link to that video. I did a critique on Atiku, and so it is not out of place at all that the Khan youths are saying that, and is a good thing. I think that's why I really do appreciate and think we should commend some of the politicians who've had the courage to speak up, irrespective, especially even those from the north, irrespective of what the popular opinion may be out there, in the north, in their area. They still have had the courage to come out and say no this is wrong. We're human beings and we must respect lives, and we must allow laws to work. We must allow the authorities, the constituted authority, to do their job, and we can't take laws into our hands. And they are calling for justice and they are calling for investigation. That is how it should be. That's how society runs. That's how society develops. We must commend them. And for those who have been quiet, those who have refused to speak up, we're watching you, we're seeing you. I think Nigerians should not forget this. Nigerians should keep this in mind, and they should affect how you vote in the upcoming elections. It should affect. So you can also see the NBA coming out to say something here. It says NBA calls for swift prosecution of suspects, postpone conference in Sokoto. Yeah, NBA was supposed to have a conference in Sokoto. I know, just before that incident, they had to put that off. I think that is a very welcome development. That is how it should be. And the NBA is equally saying that the charge that must be put up must represent the magnitude of the offense that is being committed. So you don't want to just put up some trivial charges. And in fact, it is being said that the two suspects that have been arrested have been charged to court on charges of breach of public peace. I think if that is true, that is not acceptable. No, that is not acceptable. It is not acceptable. More suspects must be arrested, and the appropriate charges must be put up. The proper investigation must be done. Just having to send the suspects to court on charges of breach of public peace is not. If that is true, then I would see that as a deliberate attempt to make light of the offense. I would see that as a deliberate attempt to truncate justice. I would see that as a deliberate attempt to please the killers and those who committed this outrageous act. So I want to commend the NBA, and I know that they will follow up this case. They will do the needful, and I commend the chairman of the NBA, since his emergency has been out speaking up, ensuring that Nigerians get justice, using that organization to ensure that Nigerians get justice. I commend the NBA and its chairman for always speaking up every time and never letting Nigerians down, especially in these times that we live in. These are very precarious times in Nigeria. We need an organization like the NBA to stand firm. We need the NBA to do more, and we want to thank the NBA for the most that they have done so far. And all men of goodwill must stand up, for what is right. Whether we like it or not, we don't have another country. This is the country that God has given us, and God expects us to stand and defend it.